Welcome back to How to Fix Your Workshop. I've been working on a garage rehab project for several weeks now, and I'm putting that series on hold because I need to do a tenant turnover situation at my rental property here. I thought I'd give you a look behind the scenes of what it looks like to be a landlord. I'll show you the good and the bad as we walk through the property and see what the surprises we had in store, the things we need to fix and clean up, and see if this is something that's interesting to you. Let me know. Alright, so starting off right here, I already walked through the property and saw a variety of things that need to be repaired. This one's not a huge deal. We have a front gate here that hinge broke, and I think it's because this post got warped. Not a big deal there. Got some landscaping to tend to there. Landscaping is a little rough out here, needs some attention. That's not a big deal. So making our way to the main entrance here, this is one of the biggies. We've got a broken glass here. The tenant told me about it right before she moved out. She claims that someone broke in. I think what really happened is that she locked herself out. So real classy effort there to try to repair the door. So I have to get a piece of glass here to fix that, but yeah. I'm sure there's some joke in here about it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno, something like that. Anyway, I need to get that fixed. And part of the reason why I think that it's more likely that she broke it than somebody broke in is because I put this deadbolt here intentionally so that it could be locked from the outside. And you can't break in, or I'm sorry, locked from the inside. And when you can't break the window and unlock this without a key. That was the reason for that. And in some areas, I think that's against code because you can't turn it, you have to have a key if you're on the inside. But it passed code here when I had the city inspect the property. Moving around here, it's actually, I'm honestly very surprised at how clean the property is. So this is the living room here. Just a couple of things that are a little bit annoying, like some screws in the walls here that I'll have to remove and patch. Not a big deal, not a huge time commitment. There's another one over here. And then walking through, this is the dining room area. No real issues in here. The paint actually looks really good everywhere. The windows are all in good shape. There's one little tear in the screen on that window there. Not a big deal. Bathroom, this is a half bath on the main level, and it's actually in pretty good shape. No issues. We got the washer and dryer stackable in here. Everything was cleaned pretty well. I mean, we were going to clean it again, but it was cleaned up pretty well. And then the kitchen here, a little dirtier. The floors are a little rough in here, a little sticky. We have this little apartment-sized dishwasher that we've had some problems with, but it's working well now. Thankfully it was under warranty, we got that fixed. Everything's still in good shape. We don't have any like broken doors or drawers or anything like that. All this stuff was new because we completely rehabbed this house a year ago. The stove is kind of nasty. You can see the ring there from stuff boiling over. There's another one. The inside is even more disgusting. I don't know how well that's showing up, but there's some stuff that's leaked down there. Microwave, the outside's gross. Inside isn't too bad. They actually cleaned that pretty well. Refrigerator's clean. I have my lunch in there. It's good. Pantry was all cleaned out. Nothing was really left behind. They did actually a really good job of cleaning up, which I was really happy about, considering they weren't the greatest tenants, and we had some issues over the last few months with not getting paid, which is why we had them move out. So just a lot of like dirty stuff that we have to clean up. And let's take a look at the upstairs. Really not too much damage. Stairs show a little bit of wear and tear. We painted them, we refinished these. Painted them. Handrail shows a little bit of wear and tear. Not too bad. Making our way up the stairs. 2 bedrooms and 1 full bath up here. And one thing, I do have it windows open and airing out because it's kind of stinky in here. It smells like smoke, and that's one of the rules that we have is no smoking. And a couple of different times that I came here, it was very clear that smoking was happening inside the home, whether it was cigarettes or marijuana or both. No judgment against people who do those things, just do it outside. Don't do it in the house because it's really hard to get that smell out of here. And now we're turning it over to a new tenant in a few days, and hopefully we can make it smell nice and the smell doesn't remain. This is a portable AC that thankfully they left behind because I purchased this with it being a 2-story house. It's very old. It's a 130-year-old brick home that we refinished, and it doesn't have the best HVAC or the strongest HVAC system to be able to push the cold air in the summertime all the way to the 2nd floor. So we have a little portable unit here. Thankfully they left that behind. Again, a couple issues like this, screws in the wall like everywhere, and we had asked for that not to happen, but of course they want to hang things up, and I'll just take those screws out and patch that. And there's a closet over here that's in good shape. Just a little something on the floor there, but otherwise it's in good shape. Linen closet over here, and that's fine too, thankfully. No issues there. And then making our way back, there's just stuff like this. It's just dirty. We'll get that cleaned up. And then this is the full bath. And again, we were surprised. And a lot of times you find these things are broke, the towel racks and toilet paper holders are broken off somehow, and usually cabinet hinges are broken or loose, and everything's in actually pretty good shape after a year. Just dirty, nasty stuff like this all over the place that we'll have to clean the walls. But overall, pretty happy with it. This is one area that's a concern, is the vanity. I made this vanity top. We bought the cabinet, and my wife painted it, and then I made this vanity top and put several coats of polyurethane on it. Somehow it still soaked through, so I think I'm gonna be able to sand that off with a little portable sander, and then stain and put several coats of poly on it again. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing. And then last room here is the back bedroom, and it's in pretty good shape. There's things like this, a couple areas where they had things hung to the wall or attached or whatever, and it looks like maybe they tried to remove them and then realized they were pulling the paint off the wall. So that's kind of frustrating. And just more screws in the wall. I don't know why somebody would put screws in the wall instead of nails, but handful of those. There's another one of those strips up there. Closet's in good shape. There's a balcony back here. Nothing really much to show that back there. There's a wasp nest right here. I'd walk out. Just saw one buzzing around. There's the backyard. It's just a lot of cleaning, a lot of just wiping down the walls. Hopefully it all wipes off pretty well. I think we used a kind like a semi-gloss paint, so it might not wipe as easy as we think it will, but we're not planning on repainting everything at this time. Oh, and then there is one spot in here that's a concern. It has a flat roof, and we had a leak at one point, and it soaked through, and I got to get that patched up. That happened a few months ago. And then we'll just walk on down to the basement, where there's a lot more stuff left behind. Basement is like cellar doors and only accessible from the outside here. Walking down here, this is a huge mess, and I hadn't been down here in a couple of months, and since then we had a pretty big leak. And really what it was, I had no idea when I came down here and found this massive puddle of water. I thought it was either coming from the hot water heater over here, one of the supply lines. But it turns out that it was the condenser from the air conditioner was clogged around the corner here. It's probably hard to see, it's right there. That was clogged up, and I took that apart, and a bunch of sludge and stuff all blew out of that hose, and we got it going down the drain, which was actually a little bit of a blessing in disguise, I guess, because then we were able to hear the sump pump run. So this line here goes over here to the sump pump, and so I heard that run, and that sucked up all the water. And I was trying to squeegee a bunch of it through here with a broom and just kind of move all that standing water towards this line, but that was taking forever. So thankfully there was this old shop vac down here, and I was able to suck it up pretty quickly. There's still a lot that's continuing to make its way to the low point. The low point is here instead of here at the drain, but it's because the floor in here is, who knows how old. This basement's probably, well, the house is over 130 years old. I don't know if the basement's that old, but it's certainly very old. And this mess here that I'm trying to figure out what to do with has been left here for quite some time from my former handyman, who helped me work on this property whenever I was rehabbing it. And I had offered this space to him as storage after we got it rented, and he, in turn for that, he was going to keep up with the yard and any of the landscaping maintenance. And then at some point he disappeared, and we weren't able to get a hold of him, and then we were, and he said he was going to come back, and then he didn't, and it just back and forth like that. And I'm left with all of his mess. So he's got a bunch of ladders in here. I'm trying to get a hold of him now to see if he wants any of these things. I'm trying to do the right thing, because I'd really like to get rid of some of this stuff, at least the junky stuff back here. And I think what he had going on was he bought a few like storage units that had a bunch of random crap in it, and he was trying to go through it and he would bring it in here and go through it and list it on Marketplace, and had his own little side hustle going on in here, which I really didn't have a problem with. But now I'm just left with all the crap that didn't sell, or whatever. And it's tons of spiders and things like that down here. It's just a mess. But that's it. Yeah, I'm going to spend a couple of days doing some repairs, and maybe in the next video I'll have a summary of things that we had to do. We already have this house listed and have a lot of attention on it, and have a lot of showings in about a week. So hopefully we can get this rented to a good person or a family or something that'll come in and be happy with the home and want to take care of it. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. This is kind of the behind the scenes look at what it means to be a landlord or a property owner, or maybe a property manager. Yeah. Talk to you later.